Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining us. I have Mike O'Neill, CEO Integrated Alliances, on the show with me today. Mike, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Michael.
All right, you've got a couple of books out already. There's not everybody knows you, but I know a lot of people do. Give us a brief background on yourself before we dive into how you became a LinkedIn expert.
Well, it was thrust upon me, and I got invited by someone else. I didn't get the idea one day to join LinkedIn. My career has been in technology and in technology sales as a sales engineer, working for cloud companies, no less. Early days of cloud. We didn't call it cloud back then because no one knew what that meant, right? We coined a new phrase since then. Right. So, and then the 9/11 hit, and I lost my job a couple times. And just so happened LinkedIn came along at the same time, and I became one of the world's first LinkedIn experts back in 2004. I was coaching and training folks then, and then 2006 came around. We launched LinkedIn workshops at the University of Denver, and LinkedIn sponsored our first two workshops, actually. LinkedIn wrote me a check. I'm still looking for that photocopy of that check. Wouldn't that be so cool? LinkedIn writing me a check to train for them back then. Yeah. And fast forward to today, I work with coaches and executives and C-level folks, as well as their sales teams, to use LinkedIn and specifically Sales Navigator and third-party tools to shorten the process, make it more effective. That's what I do now.
Talk to me about the third-party tools. I'm going to dive into that.
That's really interesting. In fact, I have a call this afternoon with a CEO of another tool maker, one that I'm pretty high on here. I've used about 5 of them. And, Gatling guns in the wrong hands. They don't go as planned. You shoot yourself. So,
what are the biggest issues that active LinkedIn users are having these days?
Clutter. Seems like everyone's discovered LinkedIn. Everyone's throwing lots of stuff out. Your inbox is getting really packed. It's hard to find things in your inbox. And I'll share with the audience some ways to alleviate that a little bit. So a few little tricks and tips, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're looking in your LinkedIn inbox and you're going like, wow, there's a lot of messages here, and you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you can only see about 6 messages at a time right now. And I think the limit is 20,000 messages. So have happy scrolling, as we say.
Right.
Interesting thing that every message in your LinkedIn inbox, as well as your Sales Navigator inbox over there, you have 2 inboxes when you have Sales Navigator. So that talk about the Department of Redundancy department for problems. Do I look over here and scroll, or look over here and scroll, or what do I do? Every message on LinkedIn has a unique URL to it. www. out here. And that URL will get you back to that message no matter where it is. In fact, that URL can launch LinkedIn and take you right to the message if you're not even on LinkedIn at the moment. So if you keep track of the URLs to messages, when you bring a message up on your screen, in the middle column, you're just looking at the message itself, there's a URL at the top, and you can Control-C, Control-V, that copy routine. So keep track of that. I recommend a Google Sheet for that because I'm kind of a web-based cloud guy for these things. And my Google Sheets in this scenario have the person's name scraped right from LinkedIn. So even if it's got a bunch of garbage afterwards, bunch of garbage here too, right? And then the link to go right to it. And I keep a notes column. And the ones that are really important to me, I even put a green background that makes them stick out, green for go. And you'll really be happy if you crank it up, using tools, for example, puts a lot of extra stuff in your inbox. And frankly, you're never going to find those things. You can scroll and scroll and scroll, and you'll just go crazy. Control minus your screen down so you can see more at one time. There's a little tip, help you get a little more on the screen at one time. But it's the breadcrumbs back to those messages. That's probably one of the best tips I have for active folks that are wanting to at least crank it up a bit.
What about multimedia working in LinkedIn?
Oh boy, you hit on another great one, Michael. You are good. You are good. LinkedIn just recently announced voice messaging. So from the iPhone app or from the Android app, you can send a voice message to somebody. Pretty powerful. Puts a little play bar there, little blue bar, but nothing else. And you go, what's this little blue bar? Should I click on it or should I not? So if you're going to do that function, and you've got to record it from your phone, it's not a desktop app yet. It'll come to the desktop. But if you do it from the phone, introduce your message. Hey, got a little note for you here, Jack, or Fred. This is what you were asking about. And I do 2-3 of those a day, sometimes to kind of prep people, either as a summary from our call or as a prep for our upcoming call. That's audio. So that's the most basic form of multimedia, an audio message. The video componentry is something else, and this is where I've got tools again. Didn't I say tools?
Yeah.
So there's a great tool called Vidyard, Vidyard, Vidyard. And it's a Chrome extension like all the good stuff. And it'll let you record a message, a video message like this. I would especially spin it out into a video file and paste it right on into a LinkedIn message, just Control-C, Control-V. Now, it also puts a preview up in there for you. So there's a picture of you kind of right from the very beginning, too, not like 70 slides into it where you're going like this, and that's the message they see to start with. Isn't that funny, Michael? They don't start videos on slide 1 anywhere. They just pick some random picture inside. YouTube thinks that's a better one than the picture you kind of got all set up for, like this. But that tool is particularly helpful. I use it as well in messages. I'm talking messages now in terms of multimedia. That's kind of the gist of this conversation. And you get statistics that tell you people when somebody opened it and things like that. So it's pretty nice tool there. Multimedia in a profile is another example of it's pretty popular, putting either YouTube videos or Vimeo or something in your profile somewhere. That's another great one. But the best of them all, I saved the best one for last. Best of them all is uploading native video into LinkedIn. So record the video yourself, produce it a little bit so the beginning and the end are chopped off. You get it just right. And then you upload it into as a status update, as a post within LinkedIn. It takes about 5 minutes for it to chug through and all. You're probably going to put some words along with it. And then you get statistics that tell you what kind of companies and what kind of titles and who's been watching it and how many views has it been getting. And LinkedIn loves that Google Juice sort of principle. Here they really go crazy with it. And you'll find that as opposed to pasting in a YouTube video, uploading it into the platform gives you a lot of great capabilities. Really great question.
Thank you. Where do you think LinkedIn is headed in the future?
Let me give you the positive spin first, okay?
Okay.
The positive spin is I believe that, owned by Microsoft, that LinkedIn is going to take more of a data-oriented approach to things, and we're going to be able to get data out of LinkedIn that we can't get now. Maybe download a report, download a list, CSV files that come down. Right now, you have to use third-party tools like I described to do that, and that should really be a function that's right in the program. You should be able to do a search and just these people in just this region with just this sort of title and this zip code and these industries, and find your search and pull it down as a list. That's my target list. And you've got to use third-party tools to do that now, unfortunately.
And social media, where do you think that's headed?
I'm worried about social media. I'm worried about social media because of politics and because of fake stuff that's put out there. I have really good friends that are on both sides of the aisle that have gone really extreme with their sharing of fake news. And I mean real fake news, not the kind of fake news that's called fake news. Stuff that comes from Russian bots and trolls, and you can just tell it, where they put the picture of Obama at the beginning, at the head of a snake, and say this is what we can expect. There's so much fake stuff that I just really don't know what to believe, and I really believe that some folks are are believing things that are foreign inspired. And I think there's going to be a really massive crackdown that's going to happen between this election cycle and the next one, particularly with Facebook and Twitter, not with LinkedIn. I don't really consider LinkedIn to be social media so much. It's a social media-ish database, but it's really not social media in the generic sense of it.
So you feel that we're going to be a little safer on a B2B basis versus the B2C basis, which is really more Facebook and Twitter.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. There's more accountability on LinkedIn. When someone says something or posts something, you can really go and see that it's a real person, or if it's not, you can report it and get them out of the system pretty quick. No such thing in Facebook or in Twitter and some of the others as well, not just those two.
So they'll probably need to apply blockchain into Facebook and Twitter so it's actually more accountable, just like you said.
Yes, and Warren probably talked to you about that, right? Warren's our blockchain expert. Warren Whitlock, one of the experts on that. Yeah, I think blockchain is what is going to come maybe to the rescue here. And that people are going to say those cryptocurrency guys came up with some pretty good ideas there. We should use that, in a positive way. I believe a lot in crypto, by the way. I think cryptocurrency has got a really great place to be had here. In terms of people just don't trust the banks too much. Do you trust the banks? I don't. They haven't done much good for me. I'm a Wells Fargo customer. What do they do for us, right?
Right. All right, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I'd like to invite you back here and now so that you can bring some of the little tips, the little pearls of wisdom, and bring them out to our viewing public. Everybody that watches our show uses LinkedIn and can definitely use your services.
Thank you, Michael. It's been great being on the show.
My pleasure. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.